have calc when my dad went to high school.
Corey just got it.
Corey didn't figure that out.
Calc hadn't been invented yet.
What is it?
2 raised to the second power is 4. So you bring the 2.
Ah, that's what they did.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I didn't even look at it yet.
Oh my god, that answer's already wrong. Jesus.
So what? We had like an x up here, and we ended up with x over ln 2. Is that the idea? Is that what it was? 31?
There's a 1. There's 2x and then x ln 4.
Oh, the x is on the bottom.
And there's a next. Next.
Yeah, but this is how like you would have left it, you're saying? And then they left it like this? Okay. Yeah, so they took the natural log of 4 and made it the natural log of 2 squared and brought the 2 to the front of that. So the natural log of 4 is the same thing as 2 times the natural log of 2. And that's how the 2's cancel. Stupid, who cares? I think they are smarter than us? Please.
Well, actually, yeah.
My life's goal, no, it's not my life's goal at all. Something I'd like to do is write a math book. Yeah, I think I'd be really good at it. I would. But I'm never going to do it. You're a pain in the butt at my thing.
You should quit today.
No. It would be pretty boring. Alright, do you have any questions? No? Okay, so it's time to review. And it's actually good that we're going to take some time to do this because I want to explain a couple of things. So I started making the test and I tried to make it very AP style. It's going to be very much AP style. On the AP test you have about 3 minutes more or less for every multiple choice problem, and you have about 15 minutes for every open-ended. So on your test, you'll have the amount of questions that will fit into that kind of scheme. You'll have 1 open-ended, and then however many multiple choice that can fit to make it fair, so that you have like about 2 to 3 minutes per multiple choice question. In addition, the test now is, it used to be like the SATs where you got no points off if you didn't answer. They changed that now, so answer everything. Whether you have to totally guess, at least put an answer down for every question, because you're going to get it right or you're going to get it wrong. You won't get just like an unanswered. Also, the way the numbering works, for the review, I took all the questions from the 1997 published exam. And the way the numbers work are, if the number is from like 1 to 27, it's a no calculator question. If the number is in the 70s or 80s, it's a calculator question. So for some reason, I don't really know why, other than to make us know what kind of question it is. The beginning part's always no calculator, and once it jumps up to high numbers in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, it's a calculator section. So that's the way to know. I kept everything numbered the way it is on the real test so that you know, okay, this is number 4, it's a no calculator question. Later on, it'll switch to like number 81, that's a calculator question.
So it's not numbered in order, it's just random?
It's in order, but like some are omitted.
When you're on the real test, are some
No, on the real test it's all of them. So I took like the 1997 test and I put in everything that we've done so far.
Wait, so then what's in between like 27 and 80?
Nothing. Oh yes, on the real test it's omitted like that. I thought you meant like this goes 2, 4, and 7. But yeah, on the real test, for some reason, it stops at 26, then it's going to skip to like 76. I don't know why. Other than I don't know. Both, but the real AP test skips them. Skips all the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. And it's the beginning of the 70s. Wow. So your test on Monday is going to be both. Okay? Mostly everything is no calculator. Then there's a couple that are calculator. The reason for that is to get you familiar with when to use it and when not to. Even on the calculator section, when you get this review, just because it's a calculator problem doesn't mean you need your calculator. It just means you could use it if you want to. You want to start to get familiar with what requires it and what doesn't. You don't have this in your hands yet, but if you did, you would see that number 80, all of the multiple choice answers are .168, .276, .318, that should tell you it's a calculator problem. Because you're not going to ever be required to do calculations to get decimals like that. Same with 81, all the answers are decimals. So that should be your clue that you should use your calculator for that problem. What else? Oh, okay, so made the review. I also put a bunch of problems up here. These problems are from your book, and they're good like for mechanics, like to practice derivatives of an inverse trig. Because there's no inverse trig problems within this packet, but there is one on the test. Yeah. There's also no problems of derivatives of inverses in this packet, but there is one on your test. So I tried to include that in these problems, but basically everything we've done so far is on the test, including like limits could possibly be.
Would you like to put that on list format on the board? For the people who aren't here, of course.
Would I put what in list format?
Everything we've learned so far.
No, you could flip through that wonderful notebook of yours and find it right there for your own enjoyment. So every test kind of ups the game in this class a little bit.
I hate you.
Look at the camera when you say that stuff.
Say what stuff? What? I don't know, he's mumbling and I don't get it.
How long could it work? You're talking about
Everything on the letters on the test.
Oh, right. So I feel like every test, shut up. I feel like every test kind of ups it a little bit. Like the last test was pretty hard. This test is just as hard, but you got to think about, it now includes like all the material. Every test that you take, I'm going to put something, I'm going to pick some kind of throwback question and put it on there. So
just like fails, you're gonna
there could be something from there on this. Because calculus is so like, it so builds on itself that easily I could take a question from before and throw it on here. Like for example, the definition of a limit, like that's still, I mean definition of a derivative with the limit, you know, of f of x plus delta x, that should be in your psyche.
Are we going to have to prove any of the...
Yeah. The definition of a derivative, you know, all that stuff. So anything you've learned so far is fair game. Let the games begin. I love it.
Still owe me a token.
I do. I still have to get more.
Like, at half point, they never gave that back.
It could be like the half point that I never gave.
Wait. So not everything on the test is on here.
Right. I tried, but
What did you say wasn't on there?
February, we're gonna get some inverse
That-
trig
All this
problems.
stuff is on the inverses.
I didn't do it on purpose.
There's so many papers.
Just for you. I'm not going to be dishonest.
Inverse trig?
Okay, so I'm going to be annoying about this and keep talking. Just like humor me for a minute. Flip through.
No.
See, we got 2, 4, 7. No calculator problems. 8, 10, 11, 12. All calculator, multiple choice. Blah blah blah. We keep going. More, and then we switched over to 76. I mean, no calculator problem. Sorry. Switch to, and then we get to 76. We have a calculator problem. But look at 76. Do you think you're going to use it? No. You're taking a derivative. It's all x's. No. Number 79, another calculator problem.
That's mean.
This one is the definition of a derivative problem.
That's mean. Like, you can use your calculator.
But you don't need it. Okay, so they're trying to trick you, but then flip and look at 80 and 81 and notice the difference. Okay, those are calculator problems. Number 86, look at D and E, 1 over root 2, 1 over 2 root 2. That's probably not a calculator because the calculator doesn't give you an answer like that. So, there you go. Flip again, you see number 2. This is an open-ended question from this test. See this little like hand-drawn sloppy line? I drew that in and I didn't erase it because I forgot. So sorry. That's not supposed to actually be in there. It's not going to mess you up that much. Flip again, we have another open-ended, and another open-ended, and another open-ended. To cut down on the work a little bit for you, the 1986 AB4 question. See what I'm talking about? Not that important. I'll give you the answers to it, but like it should be the last thing that you do if you have extra time and you want to keep studying. 1992 AB4 BC1. Yes, good question. I would make sure you do it. So what they have listed at the top, you could probably figure this out because you're like smart people, that it's from the 1992 test. It was used as an AB question, it was their number 4. It was also used as a BC question, it was your number 1. So some open-ended questions are used on the AB exam and the BC exam. That's how they get that AB subscore. All the questions that you're getting right now are AB questions because it's all Calc 1. And then the last open-ended question, 1987, AB2. Again, only do it if you have time. I wouldn't spend a whole lot of time doing that. In addition, the problems on the front are like from the review. Skip around and do what you think you need to do and don't do what you don't think you need to do. But I just wanted to give you a couple of the inverse trig. I don't want you to forget, you know, the derivative of the inverse tangent. I don't know that stuff. Inverse sine, inverse cosine, la la la. Yeah.
You're going to put the answers on a separate sheet of paper, right?
I'm going to do the packet and give you my
We need
copied
all those
packet.
formulas memorized.
You need all the formulas memorized.
This entire year.
That's tedious.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm actually probably going to go more like 12 multiple choice and 1 open-ended because the open-ended, I just take a couple parts out of it. So it's not a full 15 minutes for it. I am going to give you everything at one time so that you can do it, you know.
Are you curving this test?
I'm grading it like an AB test. So yes.
So everybody gets the same grade.
Not just
A 0.
It's fine.
It'd be like a 75%-ish will be an A, something like that.
No, everyone just push it back at it.
Really?
We are at 100.
A 0 is still a 0. But you know, be really careful. The multiple choice is tough because you get 1 wrong. That's 1 wrong.
Out of how many?
But you know, if there's only like 12 or 13 multiple choice questions, you know, it kind of sucks.
Can we get partial credit for these questions?
Not any of the multiple choice. You can get partial credit for the open-ended. Multiple choice is right or it's wrong. Sucks.
You know, sucks.
I will say nothing inflammatory today.
How much are the multiple choice worth in comparison to the open-ended?
Okay, so you typically on the real test, the multiple choice section is half, the open-ended is half. Because this one's a little skewed, I only have 1 open-ended question for you. That'll be a quarter, and the multiple choice will be 3/4, something like that.
Why do you do like
What's that?
Why do you do like quarters and 3?
Because I only have 1 multiple choice question, or 1 open-ended question that you guys can do. Like, we haven't learned enough.
Well, why don't you do like a multiple choice 1 point and open-ended is like 30?
It's not quite like that. Like, the open-ended is going to be like the one you see in here. It's long. It'll be worth like a quarter of your whole grade. Not a quarter of a point, a quarter of the test. So I was going to give you the time to work. So you can work together, you can ask me questions. Yeah. I'm gonna do the bye.